All right. So are you guys ready to start? Everyone here? Ready? Ready, yeah? Okay, very good. All right. Guys, before we start the definite integral, sebelum kita mula kamiran tetap, we will do some recap on the previous lesson. Okay, what we learned in the previous lesson. So guys, I'll recap for you all, don't worry. Okay, so last lesson, we actually learned two things. First thing is differentiation as the inverse of integration. Am I right, guys? Pembezaan adalah songsangan pengamiran. Means it's totally the opposite. Okay? Bertentangan lah antara satu sama lain. So guys, when I write like this, you can understand, right? Differentiation is the opposite of integration. I use this kind of symbol lah, so that it's easier for you all to understand. Okay? So for those take maths, normal maths, you should know what I mean already. Okay? So second part that we learn on indefinite integral. Kamiran tidak tentu. Okay guys, can you all recall back indefinite integral? What are the two special characteristics? Apa dua ciri-ciri paling utama untuk kamiran tak tentu? Can you all suggest in the chat box two special characteristics that you all know that can help you identify indefinite integral kamiran tak tentu? What is the first characteristic? Anyone? Just give it a try. Don't worry. Wrong or right is all right. So anyone? Ada idea? What is the characteristic? No. That one too general. Very general, that one. Yes, very good. Guys, indefinite integral, you will always see a plus C. Okay, guys. Plus C is what? Plus C is constant. Pemala. So always remember, selepas your integration, you will plus C because it is indefinite. Okay? Tak tentu. So kena tambah C. Okay, second characteristic. Can anyone tell? For indefinite integral, what is another special characteristic that you all know? There is one more special characteristic. Siapa tahu? Ciri utama. Anyone? Want to try? Kalau tak tahu, kamu cakap tak tahu. If you don't know, you just say don't know. I can help. Okay, so one more characteristic is, I know you won't know, no limits. Guys, for indefinite integral, remember, no limits. Tak ada had. When we do indefinite integral, our sign is like this, correct? Up and down. You don't have any number for indefinite integral. So that's why no limits. Tak ada had. Okay, so always remember these two characteristics. Plus C, no limits, indefinite integral. So this is what we learned last week lesson. Dua ni sahaja. Okay, so for today lesson, we are going to the third part, definite integral, kamiran tentu. Okay, so under this part, right, kamiran tentu, what are the special characteristics that you all know, guys? Definite integral. One special characteristic will be hard. You will have limits. Okay, got limit. All right. So what I mean by limit is example 0, 1, 3, 5, something like this. This is what we call as limit. Okay. So for definite integral, definitely got limit. Okay, ada had there. So this is one characteristic for definite integral that you all must remember. So guys, for definite integral, kamiran tentu, adakah kita tambah C kat belakang? Do we add plus C? Okay, very good. Remember, when you enter definite, don't plus C. Okay, it's wrong. Why we don't plus C? Anyone know? What is the reason behind this? Why we don't plus C? Kenapa tak tambah C untuk kamiran tentu? Yes. Yes, actually you're given the C value. Okay, so where is the C value actually? Anyone know? Mana nilai C dia? It should be this one, right? Your upper and lower limit. Your upper and lower limit, you must remember that it is your C value indirectly. Dia adalah nilai C kamu. Because after you integrate, selepas kamikan, you will substitute these values. Am I right? For definite integral. So you don't need to plus C because naturally you will get the answer. Kamu akan dapat jawapan. So no need to simply plus C for definite integral. Okay. So this is what we are going to learn today. Plus, if got time, we will cover the application. So application of definite integral, aplikasi dia adalah untuk mengira luas. You count the area. Very famous question, right guys? Integration means they'll always ask you find the area of shaded region. So you must know how to find luas kawasan berlorek. For today, zoom out. Oh, okay. Okay, for volume, isi padu, we won't touch today because too long. Okay, it will be next lesson. We will try to cover the area first today. All right. Okay, so now for last week lesson, anyone got problem or not? Like these questions, can you all do? Or any specific question that you need discussion, you can tell me. Like cuba bagi saya label soalan yang kamu tak boleh buat. Anyone? If no problem, you just say no problem. Kalau tak ada masalah, you just comment there. No problem, then I can proceed already. So any question that you want to ask from these three? No problem, huh? Okay, very good. Actually, it's the same thing only. It just look like more formal only. Okay, so this one no need. Let me see. Okay, among these six, any question you like want to discuss? Sorry, among these eight, 8 soalan, which one you feel like hard or anything? If no problem, you can say no problem also. Anything? This one is from your textbook, you know, guys. So in case you never try out the questions, right? This is your chance, lah. So anything? If not, we go on, to today's lesson already. All right. Number 8. Okay, very good. Don't worry. Tell only. I'll discuss with you all. Okay. So for number 8, they give you an equation. Mereka bagi persamaan. This equation. Okay, guys. So the question is find displacement. Cari sasaran. So what must we do, guys? First step, you got ds dt. So how to get s? Anyone know? What is the process? ds dt, you change to s. Means that kita buat proses apa sekarang? What is the concept here? Yes, you must integrate. Always remember, guys, when you see ds, you want to come to s, right? It's always integrate. If you have s, you want to go ds, differentiate. Okay, this is the concept. All right. So means that you must integrate towards what, guys? We integrate towards what quantity? Apa quantity kita kamikan terhadap? Do we integrate towards ds or do we integrate towards dt? The quantity. I want the symbol of the quantity. Anyone? Is it here is A? No, no, no. Always remember, we always integrate towards time, guys. Remember this. Every single question in this topic, the majority is we will integrate towards time. Kita akan kamikan terhadap masa. Why? Because you must always remember, the thing we integrate with is always at the bottom. Every single equation. Okay, so you must follow the one at the bottom. You will integrate towards that. Means that, let's say you got an equation, ds dt is this one lah. So means that you have to add time when you integrate. This one is indefinite integral. Kami tak tentu. Recap of last week. Today we will enter definite also. Okay, plus the area. All right. Okay, so now we just need to do integration of this. Okay, guys, can you all tell me the answer? After integrate this equation, what do you all get? Apa jawapan dia? Very simple integration. Okay, one more thing. Sorry. This one don't have limits. I also forget already. Now we are in indefinite. Okay, so what is the answer? Come on, guys. You must do fast, this kind of integration. All this integration must be very quick. Yes. How come got x there? Guys, you integrate towards dt, when you integrate towards dt, you must add a t. So means that 10t square over 2 minus 2t. Okay, don't simply add x, Yeah, because it's a habit. Not all question involve x. Tak semua soalan melibatkan x. So make sure you refer the question. Okay, lihat betul-betul. So this is your answer. Is it correct, guys? If I write like this, kalau jawapan saya macam ni, correct or not? Yes, very good, guys. You must plus C. Always remember this. Yes. So now you have to find the C. So how to find the C? You got two information here, D. So substitute only, correct? Okay, so basically you can see over here, the working is this one. Okay, so you will substitute S is 8 and T is 1. Then you find the C is 5. Second step, they ask you count displacement. You must answer the question, kira sasaran. So they give you the time is 3. So you just substitute time is 3, then you count the answer. Answer is 44 meters. Okay, guys, are you all clear? Soalan 8 should be all right. Okay, so can we go on to today's lesson now? Any other question that you all want? Okay, okay, so now we will enter this part. Okay, before we enter, let me give a briefing first. Okay, so basically, what is the meaning of the question? Integral need to be involved. Yes, because this topic is integration. So memang you have to use integral. All right. So yeah. Never mind. You think first of your question properly, then you tell again. Yeah. Okay, guys. So under definite integrals, basically the concept is all the same. You must know how to do your integration, buat pengamiran. Only thing is now you need to know about the limits. Okay, so what are limits? Can anyone tell me what are this? What do you understand by the word limits? Anyone want to share? Apa maksud had? Depends on you. Okay, first thing, how many types of limits we have for definite integrals? Can you all tell me? There are two types. So what is the name we give? Apa nama dia? Remember, you got two letters in your integration sign. So what are those two letters called? Like example, integrate A to B. So A is actually what? What is the term we call it? Anyone know? You will call it as lower limit. Am I right, guys? This is lower limit. Yes. Okay, remember this term. And then B will become upper limit. Yes. Okay. So basically, if you know maths, you all study, right? Lower boundary, upper boundary. Am I right? Exact same concept here. They are trying to explain the same meaning actually. Okay. So how do we actually apply this? Macam mana kita aplikasikan yang ni? Basically is in terms of area. We want to find area. Okay, yeah. So guys, imagine this. Let's say I got one graph. Okay, first we start with straight line. Guys, straight line graph like this. I want to find area A. Is it easy to find the area? Yes or no? Adakah dia mudah? Yes, very easy. So how many methods you have to solve this kind of question? First method, you use the area of triangle. Yeah, you have two methods, luas segitiga. Second method, if you all don't realize it, you can use integration as well, and you will get the same answer. So two method also work. Because this one is a straight line, you must remember, garis lurus. Okay, so how we actually calculate the area? Okay, let me go more detail to this graph. Let's say this value is 0 and this value is 5. Okay, I just put any value. Okay, guys, now you see carefully over here. What is the concept behind finding an area? Quite important also. So basically, the concept is you're going to divide this area into many small parts. Kamu akan bagikan dia kepada beberapa bagian kecil. Then you have to add all the areas. Let's say A1, A2, A3, and so on. 4, 5, and 6. Do you all understand? And 7. Okay. So basically, the total area is you are going to take A1 plus A2 until A7 you plus. This is the concept of integration. Ini adalah konsep kameran. So guys, can you see this? All this small change here. Can anyone tell me, in small change, what is the symbol we use to show small change? You learned before in chapter 2. What is the symbol we use? Very good. Okay, delta. So all of this is your delta x, guys. Delta x1, delta x2, delta x3 until number 7. Okay, so basically, if you see these areas, right, you will notice that it is a rectangle. Wait, let me see. Not a rectangle, it's a trapezium. Am I right, guys? Can you see? Yeah. So basically, to count these individual areas, you must use the formula for trapezium for every single one. Okay? But guys, I ask you lah, honest question. This is very tedious. Am I right? Dia sangat susah dan ambil banyak masa. It take a lot of time because you have to count one by one. So that's why the mathematician invent a new concept. By using directly, you integrate 0 to 5 y dx. You can find the area. Do you all understand now, guys? So the original concept of integration is summing these areas one by one. You plus one by one. But since it's not practical, we can direct use the formula. If we have this equation of line. If we don't have the equation, for straight line still okay, but curve you cannot find. Am I right? Because straight line you can still use area of triangle formula. So you got alternative. But now let's say we talk about curve. Same concept, huh? You see carefully. Let's say I draw a curve now. It will look totally different. X, Y, 0. Okay, so let's say our curve come like this. Okay. Okay, I give you the equation lah, make it more sensible a bit. Okay, let's say the equation is y equals square root x. All right. So guys, how are we going to find the area under this curve? Macam mana kita cari luas bawah lengkung? Let's say this value is 6. All right. So use back the original concept I told you all just now. We will try to form rectangles. Sorry. We will form rectangles under this curve. Small rectangles. Something like this. Maybe my drawing not so accurate, but I try my best. Okay, guys, do you get the concept? So it's basically, it's not that accurate. You're going to sum all these areas of rectangles one by one. Okay, so this is the concept of integration we are going to apply here. Do you all see? So this is why, if you see carefully, right, guys, if you draw rectangles, right, do you see that? Yes, some of the area is not covered when you draw a rectangle. Do you see that, guys? Some of the area is still white. Means that by using this method, right, this is just an approximation only. You understand the meaning of approximation, right? The value you get from this method is not 100% correct. So that is why, yeah, it's agak-agak. Because we never consider all these areas here. Although very small, it still have a value. Am I right? So that's why mathematicians come out with a concept, you do the integration like this. Because when you use the exact equation of the curve, bila guna persamaan betul, definitely your value will be accurate. Do you guys understand the concept? Yes. So if you realize, right, if you got try many trial question, you will realize that they will ask you to prove one thing over here using this method. Have you guys seen it? Something like this. I think you should know if you try trial question. Okay, so later we will go to that more detail. Okay, but the concept is like how I explained to you just now. You're summing the areas of this rectangle. Sum every single area one by one. Okay, so now we go to the proper part of definite integral. Okay, so first thing, you must know how to do definite integral. Okay, so basically the formula is like this. Okay, so fx is your differentiated equation. Persamaan yang sudah dibezakan. Gx is your integrated equation. Persamaan yang sudah dikamikan. So then you must apply the limits that the question asks you to use. Okay, so upper limit on top, lower limit below. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, guys, one thing here, why do you think they still plus C over here? Can anyone explain this? Because I thought definite integral, why is there a plus C here? Anyone know? What's the reason? Who can think of this? Mengapa kita perlu tambah C? Okay, okay, betul. Okay, guys, if you just consider the integration of fx to dx, right, you will get plus C. Am I right? Without the limits. Okay, so if we add the limits, I just use formula. You must understand, guys, what you're doing, not just simply do only. Okay, you must know the true meaning behind it. Then only you will, what to say, appreciate maths more. That's the only thing I can say. If you learn how to appreciate it, you will like it. Yes. Okay, so why actually we still plus the C? Because if you see, right, plus C, you minus with plus C, it comes 0 already. So guys, eventually the C is cancelled off. So means that actually in the end we are just doing GB minus GA. So actually in the step, in the more detailed step, we got plus C. But everyone or all the teacher will tell you directly use like this. Am I right? Because that's the final result. But this is the process to get this final result. Okay, because plus C from the upper limit cancel off with the plus C from the lower limit. Do you all see this? Upper limit, lower limit. So every single part you must add plus C when you do the substitution. Okay, because you have to substitute one by one. What B first, then minus your lower limit, which is A. So both part also must have the plus C, no matter what. Okay, so yeah, understand so far? Any question that you have? Nana? Okay, so now you guys try and see. First question, they ask you to find the value. Okay, so indefinite integrals, right? We will always find the value already. Okay, we're always focusing on the value. And can I ask you one thing before you all start? This value, right, that you all get, what does it represent? Does anyone know? The value that you solve from these two questions. Nilai yang kamu dapat tu mewakili apa? No, not really. Guys, I ask you one thing. X square, 3x square plus 2x. All of these are what, guys? What are these called? No. All these two. Generally. No. Yes, the answer is equation, guys. Okay, guys, you try to imagine and see. When you have an equation, you will have a curve. Am I right? Because all of these are curve equation. So when you have a curve equation, the value that you get after doing this process actually represent what? The most basic quantity. We'll find the area. Do you all get it? Means all this equation you're integrating, right, in your maths, you're actually finding the area indirectly. It's just that they never give you the diagram there only because this is simple question. But usually SPM question, they will draw the diagram nicely for you, all the curves like that. But this question, the value that you find is also the area. Yes, because all of these are graphs. You must understand. It's just not drawn there for you. You can draw it if you want. Example, x square. X square, your graph is like this. Okay, then you see your limits. Your limit is 2 to 3. So 2 to 3 means maybe 2 is here, then 3 is here. So you integrate, you're finding this area. So the value that you get is actually representing this area. Can you guys see it? So now only you know what actually you're doing actually for this maths without the application question. Just normal questions like this. You're actually finding the area. Okay, the luas. All right. Volume is different. This one we never get volume because volume is totally different formula. Okay. If you want to find volume, you're going to square this. You will square this whole expression. Same for here. you square it, then you find volume. Okay, so that's why I say you must understand what you're doing, not just like fix your mind like these are the steps. Okay, you do. Okay, you might still get correct, but you don't understand or appreciate the meaning behind it. There is a difference, guys. Getting correct is one thing, but understand and appreciate it is a second thing. Okay, so make sure you know how to do both. All right, but of course if you do the first thing, it's enough already. Okay, guys, so maybe we try question B because A is easy. So can you all try and see what answer will you all get? Try to count and see after you integrate and then sub your lower and upper limit. Make sure be careful of your negative sign here. Negative sign always will confuse people. So make sure you put the bracket clearly so that you can see. Yes, someone raise a hand. I got 80. Okay, the rest. What do you all get? Young line. Wow, very fast are you? I also never checked the answer. Okay, very good. The answer is 80. Okay, guys, one question for you here. Do I need to write a unit or not for this? Yes or no? Okay, correct. In this case, you no need to write unit because the question never draw a graph for you and ask you to find the area. This one they're asking find the value, but behind your mind, you know this value actually represent the area. Okay, but if the question come out like this, no need to write unit because they say find the value, cari nilai. Okay, so just leave your answer as 80. Okay, and one more thing, I know that some of you will be lazy, right, to write out this step because very long. Sub the upper limit minus the lower limit. But make sure you show all the substitution of the upper and lower limit because it give you 1 mark. Kamu kena tunjukkan. Okay, don't be lazy. Although the equation very long, longer than this one, still you sub every single thing. Write the whole thing out. Okay, because if not you rugi 1 mark. All right, maybe this step if you pro already, no need. You can direct jump to here. Then you do this one, final answer. Can you all see it? So actually the second step, right, is not necessary if you already master already. But if you feel like careless, then you write it out, no problem. All right, depends on you. Every single person is different. So I won't like fix one method for y'all. Okay, just up to y'all. Okay, so any question so far? If no question, we'll go on to the next page. So this one is for part A. Part A is quite easy. So I think you all can do it. Okay, so we go next one. Okay, more complex now. Okay, guys, if you see question like this, what is your first step? Langkah pertama. Will you direct, integrate, or how? Very good. Same concept as your previous subtopic. Remember to split to two fractions first. Okay, so after split, you will get x minus 2. Okay, so from here, then only you integrate towards dx. Okay, so you will get this one. Then after integrate, you will get this. Then put the limits in. Okay, so make sure press calculator. Be careful, this part especially because minus minus, so it become plus. So be careful when you key in inside the calculator. Make sure you put the bracket, or else your answer will be wrong. Okay, so guys, in this situation, we get a negative value. Kita dapat nilai negative. Is it okay, guys, for this situation, for this type of question? If we get negative value, yes, okay, it's okay. But then when you go to area, can area be negative, guys? Okay, so always remember when the question asks you find area, this one won't make sense. Okay, it's just in this question they ask you find the value, cari nilai. So it doesn't matter positive or negative, it doesn't matter. All right, so it just depends on where you are integrating and where is it located. Okay, so understand for this one? Okay, understand, huh? Now I challenge you to one question. Guys, can I ask you, after integration, right, is it possible to get my answer as 0? Can you all tell me? Yes or no? Any equation lah in this world, is it possible to get 0 after integration? Yes or no? Try to think and see. No maybes, huh? Only yes or only no? Only one answer. Definite. You must be definite in your answer. Now we're learning definite integral, right? So you must be definite in your answer, not sitting on the fence. So some more, the rest of you, what do you all think? Do you think you can get 0 after integration? Maybe like straight line. No, straight line you will have area because you can integrate anywhere also along the straight line. You will still get area. You are talking like this, right? I know your question. The straight line like this. Am I right? You still have area. Okay. So the answer is actually possible to get 0 area. Okay, can get 0 area. Do you know how the line will look like? Anyone can guess, which kind of line can give you a 0 area? Anyone know the answer? Very simple, you know. Who can tell? Where? Is it here or here? Yes, very good, guys. When you can answer this, right, you really understand integration. Okay, so guys, no matter where is my limits, 0, 8, I will still get my answer of integration as 0. Because guys, do you have area for this? I don't think so, because it's a straight line. Straight line cannot have area. Garis lurus takkan ada luas. Okay, why? Can anyone tell me this equation? What is the equation for this line? Anyone know? A horizontal line on the x-axis. What is the equation? Now I want to prove to you why the area is 0. Very good. Okay, the answer is y is 0. This is the equation. So guys, how are you going to integrate 0? Impossible, right? You won't get any answer also. So that's why the answer is 0. That's why the area is 0. Can get it? So no matter what is your limit, maybe 0 until infinity, also you will get the answer as 0 because it lie on the x-axis. Same for y-axis. If you integrate towards y-axis, the line is exactly straight like that, still 0 area. All right? So this is one thing that you all must know also for integration. Okay, so next one. This question, any problem for this one? So basically, the only thing you must take note here is make sure to differentiate the bracket after you integrate. Kena bezakan. Because this one, a lot of people will forget. Okay, so make sure differentiate this one. So that's why you have a 2 here. Then same process. Substitute the limits and then tekan calculator. This step over here is not necessary. No need to write in exam. This step is necessary. Substitution and final answer is necessary. Okay, so basically this one you can skip this step. It's just extra only. All right, so yeah, this one also is necessary. Okay, so anyone here got problem in pressing calculator or not? Like this kind of equation, anyone need me to guide you? Like you got problem in typing out such long equation in calculator? Can you share? Like anyone have struggled here a bit? Because sometimes you know how to write until there, but to get the final answer is difficult because very long. No problem, huh? Okay, very good. So just make sure you correct at that part. Okay, so now guys, we are going to learn a few rules over here. And these rules, usually they like to ask in paper 1. Okay, because it's short question. So the first rule, okay, not yet, never mind. I explain through a graph so that you all can understand. We go to a different page. Because just by equation, you all won't understand. Oh, guys, you know Melvina, right? She never take ad maths, but still follow my class. I also am like, wow. Never take ad maths, also still want to join. Got motivation, you see. Sometimes, right, you study more is no harm actually, because it's just improving your knowledge also. No lah, cannot teach any subject lah. My forte is maths and at maths. So yeah, not any subject. Cannot. Those subjects I cannot teach. You find another teacher. Oh, you say physics because physics closely related to maths, right? Am I right? But still no. Still got concept there. So we need to read up. Okay, guys. So now let us explain those rules you saw just now. So the first rule, if you integrate with the same limits for a function, what is the answer, guys? Can anyone tell me? If same limit, let's say you integrate from 5 to 5, obvious, your answer is 0. So why 0? You imagine and see. Let's say you got a point here 5. You integrate 5 to 5. Means you just stay at this point only. It doesn't move. So you won't have an area. Tak ada luas. So this is the explanation behind the first rule. Very simple. Okay. Second rule, let me check and see. Second rule, we are talking about, okay, the inverse. Okay, guys. So basically, let's say you got limits like this. It is actually negative of the answer if you switch the limits. Sorry. Negative BA fx dx. Okay, so how to understand this? Okay, you can try to draw a graph and see. Maybe I try straight line. So that is easy. Okay, guys. So let's say the limits over here is 0 and 5. So you can imagine your A is 0, B is 5. Okay, so it's equal to the right hand side. So what does it mean actually? So now we are going to switch the limit. Means that you integrate from 5 to 0. You're going opposite. The normal process is you integrate like this. Am I right, guys? From left to right. But now, what is being explained here is from right to left. Because you must remember, we always start with the lower and then go to higher. But this one is opposite. So guys, anything opposite, how do we counter it? We will add a negative sign. Common, right? Common sense, right? Because you need to make it back the same thing. Okay, so if you're moving in opposite direction, just add a negative. Same like what you learn in vectors. Am I right? You will add a negative sign if you go opposite direction. So this is the same thing. This is one direction pula. Okay. One direction lah is correct. Okay, then opposite direction. Okay. So yeah. Understand? Can get it? Anyone here is One Direction fan? Disbanded? I still listen to their song. I still like, cause very nice. What to do? I also didn't know this. See, now only someone telling me disbanded. Aiyo. Okay. Okay, so you guys understand, huh? Second rule, clear? Just switch the limits only. I don't like rap song. Not a fan of rap. Okay, so third rules. So third rules basically is when you add a constant. This one is very simple to understand. So let's say you integrate k fx dx. K is a constant per mala. So guys, whenever you have constant, remember in integration, you can take out the constant when you integrate because it will help you a bit when you try to integrate. If you don't want to take out, also can. Example like say they ask you to integrate this function. Okay, so first choice, you can integrate this directly without any modification. Second choice, maybe you can pull out the 5/4 and you integrate 2x minus 3 square. Can you all see this, guys? This is what is being explained by the rule of number 3. Okay, I give you an example. All right, so still easy. Okay, fourth rule, if anytime and any rules you feel like struggle, you must tell. Okay, so the next rule, also very understandable. So let's say I got a limits like this. I add with another pair of limits. What will be the answer, guys? You can actually direct integrate from A to C fx dx because this one is a common point. This one over here, your B, exactly the same. So means you can direct combine the lower limit of first integration to the upper limit of the second integration. Okay, so your answer will be this one. Understand? This one clear, right? Until here, clear or not? Before I ask one question now. Okay, so here comes the question for this one. Why you guys scared? When I ask question, you think it's like something big gonna happen, right? Don't worry. My question still easy. Don't worry. Okay, guys. One thing I change here. You tell me whether I can still apply this rule or not. Huh? Okay, guys. Let's say I change this fx function to gx. Can this rule apply? Yes or no? Everyone here, try to answer. Very good. Remember, guys, you can only apply this if you're talking about the same function. If you change to a different function, this rule cannot apply. Okay, because common sense is different type of function and different shapes, so you cannot say that you can combine directly. Okay, so this is what is being explained by the fourth rule. Okay, and then the fifth rule, last one. Okay, this one you have seen before also in indefinite integral. Am I right, guys? You can expand the integration sign inside. We talked about this last week also, so it's exactly the same. Only thing here is you have the limits b and a. Okay, guys, are you all clear? Clear? Huh? Okay, so now I will tell you one importance of this this rule over here, number 4. Okay, I show you one example here. You will understand why is this so important. Okay, guys, let's say naturally, guys, you tell me, will your graph always be on the positive region here? Yes or no? Very good. It can be in both. Not yes, huh? Your graph can be anywhere. It doesn't mean it must always be on the positive x and positive y. So this is when the rule number 4 comes in. Okay, guys, let's say our graph, let me think. Okay, I draw something like this. Okay, guys. So let's say now we are switching different regions, guys. So you must take note. Okay, so let's say this value is -6, this value is 6, 0. Okay, so now I want to find the total area, this whole area. Can I ask you all, which one is better? Should I integrate this one or this way? Which one is correct? Left one or right one? For this kind of question, when you're switching the regions from positive to negative, which one is the correct one? Mana yang betul? Only one answer, huh? This one. So which one? Can you all tell me? A or B? Which one is the correct way to find the area? Correct. Very good, guys. Always remember, you cannot direct integrate when you are involving different regions, like from the negative region here, go to the positive region here. If you direct integrate, your answer will wrong already because the sign change. The sign change during this integration process. So that's why you must integrate it separately, secara berasingan, so that you don't get the wrong value for area. Because remember, guys, at the end we will modulus the value, right, for area. Let's say it's negative, but if you direct integrate like this, you don't know what is happening in between. Am I right? Because you direct do the integration. But this one, you will know what is happening in between if there is any sign change in the middle. Because sometimes when you integrate this, you get negative area, correct? You integrate this, you get positive area. Let's say it happened like that. So guys, if you direct do integration, you're not going to modulus this, because you don't know. You just direct integrate. So if you stop at -6 to 0, you will know that you got a negative value and you need to modulus it and just take the magnitude without the negative sign, then plus with this positive value. Can you see that the answer will be different? Can you see that, guys? If I put value for you, you can understand. Let's say this area is -28. This area is 28. Very simple. Okay, guys. First method, if you direct going to integrate, you're going to take -28 plus 28. Am I right, guys? Means your area is 0 after integration if you use this A method. But B method, once you do this first part itself, you get -28. Correct? based on the value I give. And you're going to modulus it because this is your first part to get 28. Then the 28, you're going to add with the second part, 28 here. So that's why you see your final answer is actually 56. Do you guys see that? Of course, it makes sense. Lah. How can area be 0? If you use method A, you should know that something wrong with your answer already. So that's why the correct answer is 56. Can you see that, guys? So this is the importance of this rule number 4 here. That's why we need to separate. But let's say our graph changed now. Let's say our graph is something like this. Okay, guys. 0, 3, 8. Do I need to do separately like this? 0, 3 plus 3, 8. Adakah saya perlu buat bahasingan? No need. You don't need to do separate. Because all is on the same part, which is on the positive region. You do like this, also same answer as you do direct 0 to 8. So what is the difference? Nothing. You cut down the steps only. So if you do this, it's faster. Can you guys understand? So whenever you have the graph on the same region, without crossing the origin part here, like going to another side here, then it's safe to direct integrate. Remember this. If the graph is going from different regions or quadrants, if you understand the meaning of quadrant, because graph is like this, right? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So let's say you go from Q1 to Q3, your graph, you cannot direct integrate. Okay, if your graph maintain in Q1, then you can direct integrate. Can you see it, guys? This is the concept. Okay, so hopefully you understand this concept. All right. So any question until now? Anything you want to ask? Nothing, huh? Okay. Okay, so for part A, can you all tell me the answer? Apply the rules you learn. A is very simple, very good. Kamu akan dapat negative 4. Alright, because it's inverse only. Okay, part B. How will be this one? What will be your answer? This one you can do mentally also. You can get the answer. Yes. You just expand the integration sign inside. So integrate 1 to 3 fx, 4. Integrate 1 to 3 gx, 12 plus. So you get 16. Okay. And then for part C, 5 to 1 fx. So what will be the answer for this one? 5 direct integrate to 1. So you will get total is 7. Am I right, guys? 7. Because 4 plus 3. You direct integrate. So you combine the separate integrations together. Okay, so these are all the answer. Usually this one, they can ask also. Although it's very easy, they ask in paper 1 usually. Okay, kertas 1 to test you on your rules. But in paper 2, rarely. Paper 2 is more on the application part already. Okay. Okay, so we try some example like this. Okay, guys, for this kind of example, what is your step? You must expand the integration sign inside. Am I right? One by one. Then you can solve the answer. Okay, so they will give you some information. Question is to find h value, which is the constant. Okay, so integrate phi 2 dx, you already have the answer, this one. So you can direct substitute 12 inside. Then you have to integrate 3. So integrate 3, you will get 3x. Am I right? So this is definite integration. So definite, you have to substitute your limits inside. Okay, guys, over here, be careful. You must put a big bracket because you have a minus sign here. If you don't consider it correctly, this one you might accidentally put it as minus, but actually it's plus because negative, negative. So you must make sure that it's correct there. Okay, if you want to be easier, you just direct solve this inside. Then only you consider this whole thing to get the answer. What if we don't factorize out the h and just sub? Don't factorize out the h. H is already naturally out. You don't need to factorize it. It's directly there already. So you can actually substitute as normal. This step must show, guys. So this one must do, like the second step. This one, you mean? Oh, Oh, I understand, Adi. This one is not called factorize, guys. This one is the rules you learned just now. This one is just like multiplying it only. It's not factorize. Okay, it's just like taking it out only. Okay, so if you don't want, also can, you can leave it inside here, no problem. All right, as long as you understand what is happening, okay, then you can do it. All right, so no problem in that. Okay, so final answer, you should get h equal to 5. Okay, this one quite easy, you can do. Okay, we come to the area part already. Okay, so okay, this one is basically just finding the area. So like what I showed you just now is doing the integration a to b, b to c to get that area. Okay, so guys, now we are going to see in more detail. Okay, this is the part I showed you all. Do you all still remember this? This is a famous proving question in SPM that you all must know. Like to ask, guys, trust me, you must know how to show it. Okay, so how to show it? Basically, you're going to use this formula. Okay, you must write out this first step over here. This one. Okay, so let me explain to you the meaning. When you see this, complicated, right, guys? Am I right? Very complicated, right? Don't worry. It's easy only. Okay, we go part by part. Let me write it out in a bigger way so that I can explain. Very simple only. It's just the symbol look very complex. Okay. So guys, first step, let me discuss on the most right part first. Okay, so always when you integrate, right, you will integrate an equation. Am I right? So in this case, we give the symbol of the equation as yi. Okay, yi is our equation. All right. And then if you realize, right, they say I is 1. So means that you're integrating y. Am I right? Y1 means is y lah. Okay, so means you're integrating the curve equation. And then we will always integrate towards something, a certain variable. So the variable here is called delta x. Why do we not put dx? Anyone know or not? Because commonly we will integrate towards dx. But why do we add delta x here? Anyone know? What is the reason if you see this diagram? Okay, Ken. Okay, so actually the reason is because over here we are considering, right, the areas as rectangles. Okay, all these rectangles, they have the same value of delta x. You must understand that. Okay, they will have the same value. Delta y is different, or the y value. You can see the y value is changing. Am I right? But your x, right, if you observe the diagram, is about the same. Correct? So means that we are actually integrating towards the small change in the x, because over here the value is very small. It might look big over here, but actually the change is very small. Let's say a is 1, let's say b is 3. Okay, let's say something like that. So guys, can you imagine and see? Maybe if you see like in a big scale, I put this one too, make it more understandable. Maybe this is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So can you see, guys, your difference is 0.1. Whenever you have decimal, right, we will always use delta x already. So that's why delta x is 0.1 in this case. Can you all see it? Because here they already enlarged to a very small scale, the graph. So that's why you get delta x. No more dx. Dx is for large scale. Let's say from 1 to 5. Don't have decimal, whole numbers. That is when we use dx. Delta x is for very small changes like this. Okay, so that's how the delta x symbol come there. Okay, move on some more left. We got the n. Okay, so what does n represent here? N actually represent your number of rectangle you see here. Okay, so guys, how do I know the number of rectangle here? How do we actually get it? Anyone know? How do I get the number of rectangle? How do I estimate how many rectangle are over here? Anyone can think of a concept? If don't know, it's okay. Okay, so basically, one equation I can tell you here. based on this diagram. I explained to you all. Don't worry, this one high level a bit already. This one K-bar. Okay, whenever got proving, right, it come under K-bar already because you must generate some ideas. Okay, guys. First thing, this is your upper limit. Am I right? This is your lower limit. Had atas, had bawah. So guys, now I want to construct an equation relating delta x to the n. Means I want an equation delta x and n. So how can I get the number of rectangles n? Okay guys, delta x will be equal to, think while I explain, you think, see whether your concept match with me or not. Okay, so you're going to take the upper limit b minus the lower limit a divided by the number of rectangles you have. Then you will get your delta x. Can you understand this concept? Because every single delta x, the value is the same. This is the assumption we make. Then only we can apply this formula. Or else the value will keep on changing. We don't have a formula. Okay, so it is assuming that your delta x is constant. Okay, so means based on this, we can find our n value. So n value is actually the upper limit minus lower limit divided by the small change in x. This is how we estimate the number of rectangles that cover this curve. Do you all understand or not? Can you all see it? Can, not that difficult, right? Okay, so this is the formula that you can also write when you are proving this. Okay, so that is more clear. All right. So can you see or not, guys? In this curve, right, there are empty spaces. 1, 2, 3. So you see that if you use this method, the value won't be so accurate. Correct? So that's why we are actually integrating towards delta x, because delta x is an approximation. So the answer you get is also an approximation. Makes sense or not, guys? If you integrate towards dx, dx means is the exact value already without any empty space like this. So this is using the equation of the curve. But over here, we don't know the equation of the curve. The question never give. So this is the reason we are using this estimation method. Understand? So that is why they ask you to prove this one. Okay? So yeah. So you're integrating n amount of rectangles. We don't know. And the I is 1. Okay, why I is 1? Because we are integrating the y equation. Why I is 1. So 1. Okay, so what is this symbol? This symbol means we are summing. Sum. Yes, very good. So we are summing all the areas for the equation under the curve for these rectangles. Okay, last part, the limits. Okay, why we need this? They are actually trying to say that delta x, the small change in x, is very close to 0 or is approaching 0, menghampiri sifar. So can you see, guys, based on the value I told you all just now we got delta x is 0.1. Am I right? So it's actually very close and approaching 0 already. So that's why we add this symbol here. Usually if you have delta x, right, you must add this symbol. Remember your, what is it? First principles. Do you all still remember, guys? Differentiation using first principle. You will always have this symbol. Am I right? Because we are involving delta x, correct? Y plus delta y equal to something something delta x, correct? So you see delta x appear there. Then your last step, you will have this because you got delta x. Okay, so always remember when delta x, you will have a limit, this symbol, limit delta x. Delta x, we always assume go to 0, no other value. Okay, always to 0. Any question also. Okay, so understand, guys, the proving. If come in exam, can you all do it? Should be okay, right? You just try to imagine this idea that I tell you all today, then should be able to do. You don't need to explain like so detailed. Okay, just like make sure you show this formula and then show this concept I show here plus the final answer. Integrate b to a y dx. Okay, so hopefully you all understand this one. Okay, so all right, now we are going to study more specific in this last 15 minutes how to know which area is positive, which area is negative based on where the graph is located. Very interesting, this one. no matter what is your equation, right guys, tak kira apa persamaan, the value will still be the same if your graph is located in different places. You all understand, right? If I use Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, you all okay, right? If I explain like this, okay, because I feel that's the best way to like tell where the graph is located so that you all can understand, because I use the three-go method. Okay. Okay, so first condition, guys. Now we are looking horizontally, melintang. So we're actually talking towards the x-axis, terhadap paksi x. So guys, this is Q1, this is Q3, if you remember. So guys, in Q1, you will always get a positive value of area, no matter what is your equation, and no matter what is your limits. Understand that? Okay, so let's say if you do a question, right, your graph is here, suddenly you get negative area. Definitely wrong already. You cannot just modulus, definitely your calculation is wrong, because naturally, if your graph is located there, you should get a positive answer at once without using the modulus. But if your graph is located over here, high chance you will get a negative value for your answer. Is correct. The only thing you need to do is modulus your answer so that you get a positive value of area. Do you all understand, guys? So remember, Q1 positive, Q3 negative for area. It's like that. Okay, why is it like that? Quite common sense also. If you see your axis, the values on the left hand side are negative. Am I right? Maybe this is negative 3, this one is 3. So guys, naturally, if you integrate a positive limits, you should get a positive answer. Am I right, guys? Common sense, right? Same for here. If you are integrating negative limits, you should get a negative answer for area. So that is why this explains why you get positive in Q1, negative in Q3. But just make sure the negative value you modulus it if they ask you area. Okay, so all of this I explained already. Okay, exactly the same. All right, understand this condition, guys. This is for x-axis. We also have y-axis, paksi y. Paksi y will switch also. Okay, so maybe I show you one example how we count the area. Okay, we try B more complex. Okay guys, we want to find this area, luas bawah lengkung. Okay, so basically you have to integrate from 2 to 5. Am I right? For this equation. So guys, you think and see your area here. You think you will get a positive value or negative value of area once you integrate? Just think and see. Don't do any working. Direct answer only. Okay, let's check and see. Okay, we see number B. See whether the concept match or not. Okay, guys. So you're going to get a negative value. Not positive, You know why? Because it is below the x-axis. Although your limits are positive, correct? But your shaded region is below the x-axis. So you're still going to get a negative value. Because you see, right? Your curve at this part is negative. Am I right? It's the negative region already. So means that once you use these limits in a negative area, you're going to get a negative value. Because you must understand, when you substitute the limits, which is x, you're counting the y value. Am I right, guys? You substitute x, you get y. Correct? So check and see, guys. For x equal to 2, can you see your y value is negative? And for x equal to 5, okay, 0. 0 and negative. Your answer should get a negative. Am I right, guys? So that's why the answer you get is a negative. Do you all understand? Because when we substitute the x limits, right? Once you substitute and count that value for the specific limits, one of it will get negative. Okay, because based on where the area is located and based on where the points touch the curve. So yeah, that's why you get a negative value. No matter what is your equation of curve, it can be anything, as long you see where is the area. Okay, but make sure when we're talking about area, make sure you modulus your answer at the end and give it as positive, 9 unit square. You must put unit now, guys. If they ask area, this is the unit you must put in your answer. unit square. Okay, so understand for this example? Can you get the concept? Can. Okay, very good. Now you guys try to estimate and see, guys. You think and see. I ask part by part. Do you think this area you will get a negative or positive value? Okay, very good. Negative. How about this part? Negative or positive? Very good. Okay, so now we don't know what is the overall answer because it depends on the values itself. Then only we can decide at the end what's the answer. Okay, so in this case, do we integrate directly 0 to 6 or separate? Which one is the correct method? Direct or separate? Very good, because you will have negative value. Remember, negative value must modulus. Okay, so you can see that they first do 0 to 3. Can you see, guys? You get a negative answer. Then they take it as 9 for the part A. They label that as A. Then the second part, they do one more time, 3 to 6. You get 45. Final, you will take 9 plus 45, so 54. Do you all understand? So this is the reason why we need to separate the limits. That's why you knowing which one is positive or negative area is important. Then only we can decide, do we integrate direct or do we separate integrate? Can you all get it? So always remember this. Anything below the x-axis here is always going to be negative, no matter what type of curve you have. Okay, it can be funny shape also, doesn't matter. As long as you know where is your region. All right? Clear? Until now? So now we will talk opposite. Now we discuss about the y. Means now we are talking about Q2 and Q4. You must imagine and see. Q2, Q4. This is sticking to your y-axis, correct? On opposite sides. So now we will talk about this one. Okay, so how to find the area? Exact same concept, but you must remember we are now integrating towards the y-axis. So that's why we give the symbol dy. Okay, once it's dy, the equation here is x in term of y. Always remember this, opposite. If you integrate towards y-axis, equation that you substitute must be x in term of y. If you integrate towards x, equation you substitute is y in terms of x. So you need to rearrange the equation sometimes. So the equation won't like just give you directly like that. You must know how to modify and suit where is your shaded region. Sometimes both way also can. You can integrate towards y also can, integrate towards x also can. You will get the same answer. So there are certain cases like that also. So both also can apply. But some question is very direct. It can only be one direction. Okay. All right. So now guys, let us see this one. Okay. So now if you are talking about the y-axis, is there a specific curve that tell you which formula to use? No. You must see the where is your shaded region? The question asks. Okay, it depends where is your shaded region. Of course, you can tell, you can find the area under here also. Okay, it depends what the question asks you. Where is it sticking at? Yeah, it depends where it sticks at. Okay, so yeah, sometimes it won't stick also. Sometimes it will be hanging in the middle, you know, guys. Some question is like that, they won't stick. Yeah, so in that case, right, you can decide, do you want to go towards y or x when it's floating in the center there? Those are the kind of question. Okay, but like this, very clear. Okay, so you must understand q2 always negative. Okay, q4 always is a positive answer. Okay, if you are integrating towards your y. Okay, now I ask you the concept. Okay, so now we are integrating towards y. Am I right? So the limits we substitute is y value. Am I right, guys? So means that when you substitute y value, you're going to get back your x. Am I right? Because we integrate towards dx. Correct? So if you substitute your y values as your limits, if you check and see, right, let's say the y value is negative 8 here. So guys, you trace and see your x value is going to be positive. Can you see that? Which is going to be your area. So that is why you will get a positive answer if your region is located over here. Can you all see it? Negative y value, trace, go to positive. So that's why the value of integration or area is positive. Same for this. Now your y is over here. It is a positive value. So you trace and see. You should get a negative answer. So negative answer means that area is negative because your starting point is 0. So 0 combined with negative, you will get a negative answer. Understand, guys? So this is the reason behind it. Why is it certain part negative, certain part positive? Understand? So hopefully you can estimate lah. All right. If you don't like want to remember the concept, you just remember like this: negative, positive, positive, negative. It's like this. Okay. When it's towards the x, must see the x value position. Let me see. Towards the x means we are, if towards the x, right, we are seeing the y value. X is the limits. Am I right? When we integrate towards x-axis, yeah, the limit is x. So once you substitute the x value in that equation, you're going to get the y value. You see here, this one. We are integrating towards x, right? Like example over here. So you must trace and see your y value is positive. So that's why your answer is positive. Okay. Same for here. Your x value negative. So you trace and see y value you get is negative also. So that's why your area is also negative. Understand? So if you integrate towards dx, check your y value, opposite. That's why the formula is y dx. Am I right, guys? Can you see this? This is your limits. This is what you check after integration. Then you determine whether it's positive or negative. Same for just now, opposite only. So this value you will determine whether it's positive or negative based on the limits that you have here. Okay, so hopefully you all get it lah. Okay, this is the concept. If you don't understand, it's all right. You try to memorize this one. Where is it? This one. Like this lah. If you want to memorize the more simple way. Okay. So any question until now? We will try, I think these two lah. Then we can stop early. Okay. So guys, let's say the area is like this now. Can you all tell me, will you get a positive or negative value for this kind of shaded region? What do you all think based on the concept just now? Okay. Some more, some more. Will you get positive or negative? Think back and see. Now we will integrate towards dy, correct? So this is our limits, x dy, this limit. So you check and see, limit, touch curve, go down. X is negative. So your answer should expect negative lah. Can you guys understand? Can So you should get a negative answer. So you try and see, yeah, yes, we get a negative answer. But make sure modulus, because area can only be positive. Luas hanya boleh positif. Can you all get it? The integration technique should be no problem because the equation is simple. Just make sure you use the right formula. If you integrate towards y-axis, x dy. Integrate towards x-axis, y dx is opposite. Okay? All right. For part B, can you all think and see? Will you get positive? Sorry, I must do part by part with you all. Okay, this one first. Do you think it's positive or negative? Okay. Yes, you should get a positive value if you remember. Okay, correct. How about this one? Okay, let's check and see. Okay, so this one, you must separate. Am I right? Because it's positive, negative. So you need to separate your integration. Don't do direct. Because direct means you will get confused already. Okay, so, hey, wait, let me check and see. Wait, guys. Let me see whether just now the answer correct or not. Guys, this one is positive, Remember, we are integrating towards y-axis now. If you're talking about integration towards x-axis, then only is negative. I also confused just now. Okay, remember the jadwal, plus, plus, minus, minus. Okay, you must check and see where you're integrating, whether it's y or x. Okay, it depends where is the quadrant. Okay, and depends where you integrate also. So you must check and see. Maybe you try to draw one for y and one for x. I think cannot combine into one. We must draw separately the quadrant. Then you will understand better. Okay, so yeah, to be safe, if you feel like confused, right, never mind, you do separate, you do one by one, you won't lose anything, because anyway, even if the symbol same, you do one by one, right, you separate the integration, still same answer. So if it's different symbol, if you do the separate method, definitely you correct already. So separate method is fail safe. Combined method got risk, depend on your shaded region. So if you want to don't want to remember all this stuff, right, you do separate, confirm correct your answer no matter what. Just remember, when you get negative area, modulus it, then you go to the second part. Understand, guys? Can you get it? So separate method should be your preference for integration. Second only is direct, if you're confident. Like example, the curve is just over here. This one definitely you confirm is only one sign, so it's positive. Okay, so yeah, this is the method you can use. Okay, so make sure if integrate towards y-axis, again same thing, x dy. Okay, then integrate as normal, pengamaian macam biasa. Then you will get this answer. Okay, so I think the rest we will continue next week lah. Okay, more complex examples, especially involving minusing two different area and floating curves. Okay, so next week we will touch on area plus with volume. Then we actually complete already lah, integration. Okay, so can you understand, guys, today's lesson? Crystal clear on integration? Crystal clear? Very good. Okay. So good. At least your exam you will feel more confident also. So that's a good sign. So your trial is in August, right? If not mistaken, and maths. Okay. So good luck lah. Because I hear that and maths very few people get A's. Am I right? Even for midterm exam form 5, like different schools, like very hard to score A, right? So keep on fighting lah for that A or A minus also. Very hard. I got a C plus, like damn. That's why I say trial question. When trial coming, right, make sure you guys try out all the past year trials for all the states if you can. Do as many as you can. Different topic. Better still. Okay, so that you all get used to it. So what I do now, since just do exercise. Now no time to study already, no guys. Now is you practice only. Who practice more, that person will gain more. Trust me. Now is not the time for study back concept already. No time for that. It's direct attempt the question. Don't understand? Check the scheme or see or ask teacher lah, or ask your teacher or anyone else, or see online video. What is the explanation behind that answer? Oh, same lah like us. Trigo depends, because Trigo is a hard topic, not for everyone. So sometimes some teacher might skip that topic if she feel like the class cannot handle that topic, right? They won't teach. That's the thing. It's okay. Trial still okay. You study well for SPM, that topic can do one. Trust me, we will cover by then. So yeah, because Trigo got a lot of proving. Am I right? Especially paper 2, I think got come out proving also Trigo. Paper 1 definitely got Trigo question. So it's important. Maybe if you can, right, guys, you just master drawing the graph enough for Trigo. If you cannot do the proving, right, master the graph. Every single Trigo graph, you master how to draw it. Because I think it's around 4 marks, if not mistaken. And maths Trigo graph, 4 or 3 marks, I don't know. So make sure you know how to draw it. Because draw graph is just you need to know how to sub the values. Am I right? As long as you have a table of values like this, x, y, no matter what graph they ask you, you just put any x value and get the y value. So actually you don't need to memorize the shape of the graph. You just need some x values within the range given, the domain they will give you, right? Like 0 until pi. Am I right? Then you just use any values within that range to plot your graph. Then you can join all the points. You will get your graph ready. Am I right? So actually you don't need to memorize. You just use the concept of plotting points. Then you connect your point. Of course, you must know the general shape lah. If not, you don't know how to connect. Score A for admits, you mean? Anyone else here can share strategy? I feel like when I share strategy, it might not seem like you all can apply, because like other people with the same situation only can tell you what is the perfect thing at this time. Because my strategy will be like general, anyone can tell it, but maybe some of you like got some specific thing that work for you. Maybe you can try to share. I don't know. Maybe you can think of it. But if you want general strategy, then it's just practice only, nothing else. For NMAX, it's just practice. Practice make perfect. Um, Practice make perfect. Keep on do question. Yes, correct. Especially for maths and maths, you try as many questions as you can. Although very few one day, but if you do every day, right, it will come a lot in the end. Uh, and also try to attempt the K-bar question. Don't just do easy question, guys. If you just do the easy or moderate question, you won't be prepared for how the paper is going to come in trials. Yeah. Best thing is you just do the exact trial question. Time yourself, see whether you can finish within the time limit, 2 hours and 2 hours 30. You set time, you do. That is the real exam scenario you will get, because all the topics are there in that paper already. So you can check and see which part you're lacking, which part you understand, which part you like don't really get the concept, something like that. Am I right, guys? You must be hardworking, guys, to try the question. It's not just about listening, And maths, you cannot just like listen to someone teaching and you don't do anything, you expect to get A. You think it works, guys. Trust me, it won't work. If you just listen to a person talking, even though the teacher is the best teacher in the world, I tell you that teacher is the best at maths teacher. You just listen every single week the lesson. You never write anything, just listen until your SPM. I see whether you can get A or not. Still cannot, because admits is something that you must practice. You must do. Then only you know the feeling. Feeling is important. When you do admits, you will know like if this question how to approach. If this question what is the approach. You can only get it by trying, not just listening to someone explain or someone help to solve for you. You must do by yourself. If don't know, then ask. Then it's effective. Uh, then you will discover more. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to like what to say, you do until certain part the working, you don't know, you try to think for a while. Don't just direct go to the scheme, guys. When you start, right, you think first, maybe like 5 minutes. Don't go over 5 minutes. Think 5 minutes. What is the method I can use to solve this question? Maybe you might have 3 methods in mind. You just write it out. Then you go to the scheme, check and see which method is the correct one. Then you will know like how to think the next time. Can you see, guys? This is the strategy for admits, not just simply listening to someone talking without doing any exercise. It must be keep on do exercise by yourself. Then only can score. Okay. If you just aiming to pass, then can. You just listen to someone, don't do anything, you can pass. Can. But if you want A, you want A plus, you must do exercise. That's the difference between passing at maths and getting a very good grade. Okay. So yeah, think carefully how you study at maths. Okay, because it's an important subject. Trust me, once you go for like uni, right, you will see the importance of this admits. Everywhere you will see that admits is a requirement. If you want like a course related to maths, if the one, then it's okay lah. The science subject, especially science subject, I will still say practice also, because science subject, of course, got concept you must know for every single topic, plus some definition, plus some process or mechanism. All of that you need to know first. Then, oh, syllabus not done yet. Which